What's the location of your emergency?
524 Stephanie Drive, help. Me and my wife are dead. I got my little daughter help.
Okay, I'm sorry, 524 Stephanie, what's going on there?
Me and my wife are dead. I got my little daughter help. Get the door in, it's locked. Help, hurry, hurry, hurry. My wife's taking the floor, that guy, help.
Okay, so you're needing an ambulance?
Yeah, I need 2 of them, and we're dying.
Okay, why do you think you're dying?
Because I'm all stabbed up with blood.
You're stabbed, somebody stabbed you?
Yeah, hurry, hurry.
Who stabbed you?
Oh my God, please don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you, I'm trying to get information. Who stabbed you?
I don't know who it was. I think my daughter, I don't know. Please help me.
Okay, and what is your name?
Okay. Hello, help me. Hurry, here.
I'm getting a call. Okay, is your daughter still there?
Yeah.
Where's the knife at?
It can't be moved, man. Help me. Help me. My daughter's getting start to go.
Okay, where's the knife at?
In the floor, man. Help me.
What is your daughter's name?
We are coming to you live right now with breaking news.
The night of June 24th on the 500 block of Sesame Drive in Mesquite, Texas, authorities arrived at the home of Jody and Amy Fox. Investigators discovered a gruesome scene that had unfolded at the residence. Evidence shows that Mrs. Fox was struck several times in the face with an A1 steak sauce bottle. Authorities also confirmed that Mrs. Fox was repeatedly stabbed in her upper torso area in an excess of over 200 times. This violence unfolded in front of the couple's 5-year-old daughter.
Most tragedies like this are often caused by escalating domestic violence issues. Anger issues that go unchecked for years, ignoring all the warning signs. So by the time my intervention can take place, the damages are permanent, but the feeling lasts forever.
All right.
You all can be seated and have your seat. So you all have a seat. Everyone may be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I was unable to be in attendance yesterday because the voir dire process requires a lot more of my voice than the actual trial. So I'm doing my best to hold on here and make sure everyone can hear me. I am going to go over a few ground rules with you all. I see some of you are taking notes, and I don't know if it was explained to you that you're welcome to take notes throughout this process. But when you start deliberations, you will not be able to use those notes. So I want to make sure you're aware of it. We'll keep them for you if you want them back at the end. If you have a drink or something that you want to bring into the courtroom, I don't have a problem with that at all. If you need breaks or anything, just signal to me. Otherwise, we'll go until the 10:30 hour. When I take a 15-minute break, we'll come back until 12 noon, and we'll take a lunch break for an hour and 15 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll go until 2:30 when we take our last 15-minute break. I don't go beyond 4:30 unless you as a jury agree to do so. And there are some scheduling conflicts that the court is going to have a little later on this week, but we'll work around those accordingly so we don't waste your time, okay? With that, my first order of business is to swear you in as a jury. So if you all could raise your right hand, the answer to this question is I do. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Jody Fox, you will a true verdict render in accordance with the law and the evidence, so help you God? All right, good. Put your hand down. And you might see some filming going on. This is not going to have any kind of photographs or anything taken of you all. It is another matter. It's not connected to you in any way. I just want to make sure you're aware you will not be photographed or filmed, okay? All right, State, if you could present the indictment. Defense, please stand for the indictment to be read.
Yes, Your Honor. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jury of Dallas County, state of Texas, duly organized at the July term AD 2024 of the Criminal District Court Number 4 for said county, upon its oath do present in and to said court at said term, that Jody Wayne Fox, hereinafter called defendant, on or about the 24th day of June 2024 in the county of Dallas, state of Texas, did unlawfully, then and there, intentionally, knowingly, cause the death of Amy Moss, an individual, hereinafter called deceased, by stabbing and by cutting deceased with a knife and a sharp object, and by striking deceased with a hand and an unknown object, and by a manner and means unknown to the grand jury. And further did unlawfully, then and there, intend to cause serious bodily injury to Amy Moss, hereinafter called deceased, and did then and there commit an act clearly dangerous to human life, to wit, by stabbing and by cutting deceased with a knife and a sharp object, and by striking deceased with a hand and an unknown object, and by a manner and means unknown to the grand jury, and did thereby cause the death of Amy Moss, an individual. And it is further alleged that the defendant did use and exhibit a deadly weapon during the commission of this offense, to wit, a knife and a sharp object and a hand or an unknown object. Against the peace that you use against it.
Into that indictment, how do you plead?
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client pleads not guilty.
Right, you all may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are now going to have opening statements. Opening statements are not evidence. It's merely a summation of what the attorneys believe the evidence will show. State if you wish to make opening statements at this time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen, horror does not even come close to describing the events that happened on June 24, 2024. It started with a 911 call, a confusing, a bizarre 911 call, and I'm not sure we're going to completely get all the answers to. But that led the Mesquite Police Department to 524 Sesame Drive in Mesquite, Texas. And what they found there, you're going to hear many of them describe as the worst scene they have ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, what they found there, you're going to hear, was Amy Moss, dead on the floor of her living room, having been stabbed over 200 times. Now, you're going to see some photos in this case, and I'm going to be honest with you, they are really hard to see. We've used discretion and have been really purposeful in what photos we have picked out, so you only have to see what's absolutely necessary. So like I said, it's going to be. But ladies and gentlemen, it will be necessary. May it please the court?
Good night.
Members of the jury, good morning. The evidence, as you heard yesterday in voir dire, comes strictly from that stand, the witness stand. You, each of you, are the exclusive judges of the credibility of the witnesses and to determine what you think about the evidence as it's presented.
State if you could call your first witness.
Yes, the state called Debbie Morales.
Before you take your seat, if you don't mind stopping and raising your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mike is out of seat on witness stand, speak into the microphone. Proceed when you're ready, stand.
And can you help explain to this jury what happens when someone calls into 911?
It'll come through on, we have dedicated 911 lines. It'll come through, we just start with, Mesquite Police, what's your emergency, or what's the address of your emergency, if it gives the address. Then we just try to find out what's going on and ask questions from there, and we get to what they tell us.
And is there an individual call number that's automatically assigned to each call?
Yes.
And those numbers are you no longer call at the same number?
Correct.
And are there also notes that are being made when a call comes through?
Yes, each time that I type something, it creates a note. And anyone who's logged onto the call from our CAD system, if the call taker gets it, or officers or whoever's dispatching, anything that they put in, all goes into the same call sheet.
And what kind of notes are being entered as you receive a call?
We enter the answer for everything that we're asking them.
And are these calls, and recordings of these calls kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes.
And when you're taking a call, is there any sort of information that you're trying to get from the caller?
Well, the first thing that I'm trying to get is what is going on, so I know what kind of situation it is. If they need just police, if they need police and medical. We ask who, what, when, where, why. It's usually our first questions because that'll pretty much give us the scope of what we need to be putting in and how it needs to be dispatched.
And why is it important that you get that information to the officers or EMTs or whoever's responding?
So that they know what's going on when they get there. Our CAD system ranks the calls, but that's also going to determine how the officers respond. But they're getting the notes from whoever's dispatching as they're in house, so that when they get on scene, they've got as much information as we can give them, so they understand what's going on.
And are these calls typically, once they're made, are they then kept by Mesquite PD?
I believe so. The records is the one who handles that, so I don't know what their time frame is, but they do keep them. Sorry.
And were you working the evening of June 24th, 2024 at approximately 8:55 p.m.?
Yes.
And at that time, did a call come in about an incident occurring at 524 Sesame Drive in Mesquite, Texas?
Yes.
Was this call recorded?
Yes.
And can you kind of describe to the jury how this call sounded without getting into what you heard, but just how this call sounded?
It's been a little bit since I listened to the recording. But I know that he was saying that there was someone.
Judge, I was have to be careful, say people stay on this call. Not admitted.
Sustained.
Mayor Persuade Shaw.
You may do so as necessary to develop her testimony.
Ms. Morales, I'm showing you what has been previously labeled as State's Exhibit number 16. Is this a copy of that 911 call that you made that night?
Yes.
And was it made on a device capable of recording calls?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a fair and accurate depiction of that call that came in?
Yes.
Has it been edited or altered in any way? Your Honor, at this time, the state offers State's Exhibit number 16 for all purposes. No. No objection.
State's Exhibit 16 is admitted for all purposes and published.
Morales, what's the location of your emergency?
524 Stephanie Drive, help. You know about the gas. I got my little daughter help.
Okay, I'm sorry, 524 Stephanie, what's below there?
Me and my wife are gas. I got 5-year-old daughter help. Get the door in, it's locked. Help, hurry, hurry, hurry. My wife playing the floor, that guy help.
Okay, so you're needing an ambulance?
Yeah, I need 2 of them, man. We're dying.
Okay, why do you think you're dying?
Because I'm all stabbed up with blood.
You stabbed, somebody stabbed you?
Yeah, hurry.
Who stabbed you?
Oh my God, please don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you. I'm trying to get information. Who stabbed you?
I don't know who it was. I think my daughter, I don't. No, please help me.
Okay, what is your name?
Okay. Oh, help me. Hurry, here.
I'm getting a call. Okay, is your daughter still there?
Yeah.
Where's the knife at?
It can't be moved, man. Help me. Help me. My daughter's getting to start to go.
Okay, where's the knife at?
In the floor, man. Help me.
What is your daughter's name?
Amy Mom. Please don't do that. Help me.
911 emergency.
524 Stephanie Drive.
What's going on?
Who am I speaking to?
This is Mesquite 911. What is going on?
Ma'am, my wife was getting the floor and I got my daughter kicking out. Get the house on fire.
Who is your daughter?
Amy Moss. She's 5. She's got a bottle with gasoline and rag. Help.
You were saying that she has a lot of gasoline?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is she? What's her date of birth?
12, 26, 2019. She poured gas on me, ma'am. I'm back there. You got to keep the door in. Whoever help me, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Yes. Ms. Calhoun, I think it's clear, but the callback calls where there was no answer and it went to voicemail, right?
Yes.
That is you attempting to call who initiated the call. Is that right? Because that's typically how this works, calling 911. And so if we just previously heard from another 911 dispatcher, obviously she would receive this calls in the same way you do. Somebody calls in, right?
Yes.
And so the caller is calling, asking for help based on whatever is going on.
Yes.
Right? And as far as what's actually going on at the scene or who's involved or the circumstances surrounding it, you don't know because you're just trying to get police dispatched. Is that right?
Yes.
And is that where your responsibilities ended here? But the person identifying himself on the end of the line called you not once but twice, right?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Anything further from the statement?
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be permanently excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have a scalp on. You can step down. You are free to go. Who further says the statements?
The state calls Sergeant Joseph Thompson.
Dr. Thompson, you can come on as a witness stand. According to your seat, if you don't mind stopping and raising your right hand, this one. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the truth, all truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? I just have to go on witness stand, speak into the microphone.
Can you also walk this jury through just generally your duties and responsibilities as a police officer when you see?
Sure. Currently, I'm in patrol, so I'm a patrol sergeant. I answer calls or assist officers if they have issues out in the field or citizens have issues with the officers. I handle those as well. That's my current duties.
And were you working the evening of June 24th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am. I was a patrol sergeant that night.
And were you sent to respond to an incident that occurred at 524 Sesame Drive, Mesquite, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in Dallas County, Texas?
Yes.
Did you have occasion to come in contact with a person you later came to know as Jody Wayne Fox?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. If I'm in seat 1 and my co-counsel is in seat 2 and so on, would you mind letting the record know what seat he is sitting in?
Seat 5.
Your Honor, let the record reflect the witness as identified for the minute.
Any objection from the defense?
Okay.
The record will so reflect.
Can you tell the jury how you were first called out to 524 Sesame Drive?
I believe the call started out as a stabbing, but the call notes were trying to think of the word I would use is crazy. It was a lot of things that were being said in the notes that led me to think on the way there, I was thinking this may be like a swatting because the notes that were being given out were just over the top, not normal stuff.
And for anyone that doesn't know, what is a swatting?
That's where a lot of times it happens over social media stuff, and they'll call a police department and claim that they're having a barricaded person or suicide, or they just killed somebody at a location to get police to respond, and basically using the police to harass somebody. And based on the notes of this call with things said like gasoline being dumped on them and people dead and just kicked the door in, that was something that was triggering me to think maybe this was like a SWAT call. That would. So I was like,
What happened when you first got to the scene?
when we got to the scene, I think Officer Rowland and maybe Officer Walsh were up at the front door knocking when I arrived. That's when we started hearing Jody inside saying something. I couldn't hear what he was saying. The officer in front, I think Officer Rowland could hear a little bit, but not much. And then he said he's crying. And at that point, we were going to try to force entry, but Jody came to the door.
What happened when Jody came to the door? What did next?
So when Jody came to the door, it was kind of a surreal, in all honesty. He was covered from the top of his head to the bottom of his, to his feet, like with just blood. And so it was very strange. I've never seen that before. So it was kind of like, wow, okay, something really bad just happened. And I think at that point, I was under the impression that there was a female daughter inside the house that had possibly been the one doing the stabbing because of the confusion in the notes that were given. He said his daughter was attacking him. When he answered the door, there was a 5-year-old child with him, but obviously I was not thinking that that was the daughter that was attacking him. I was saying there must be an adult daughter that's still in the house. So that was the initial. He came to the door, the 5-year-old was right behind him, almost next to him, when he came to the door.
And at some point later on, you all searched the house.
Yeah, so I had Officer Rowland watch Jody when myself and Officer Walsh entered the residence to search.
And did you find any other person in there?
No, there was nobody else in there. We checked everywhere.
And when you're searching, what are your concerns initially when you're just kind of first going through the house?
My first priority was preservation of life. I was trying to ascertain if this person needed medical assistance, as well as it's almost dual, like making sure there wasn't somebody else in the house that was possibly a danger to us and anybody else coming in, or the paramedics that needed to come in and render first aid. But as soon as I entered into the living room, I saw her, and it was very clear that she was deceased at that point. So at that point, my priority was just to find this other person that I thought may be in there and make sure the house was safe. To have paramedics come in and just come in. You hear him in there?
Yeah.
What's he yelling?
I can't hear him. I hear him talking.
Police department!
Police department!
Alright, we're gonna open the door. Open the door. Come on out to me.
Okay.
Raise your hands. Come on out.
They're gonna find your daughter.
Okay. I got you. Come on. Okay.
She attacked me first time. Oh, in here. And I tried to blow it down.
Okay. Who's inside?
Can y'all come on? Who else is inside right now? She's dead. She's attacked. Who else is in there?
Yeah, no weapons, right? Come on out to me.
Your daughter? Is she the one that's in today? Okay. Lost on the floor. Sorry. Who had the knife? Well, come over here.
Chief Police. Chief Police.
For record purposes, pausing the video at 1 minute 48 seconds. Sergeant Thompson, I am showing you, it's been marked as State's Exhibit 21. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Have you had a chance to review this prior to trial?
Yeah.
Okay. It is this, and it's not to scale.
Correct. Yeah.
But is this basically a map of the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have we included some furniture to kind of help show the layout of the house?
Yes.
Okay. And is that because, like you said, it was a pretty confusing scene?
Yes, there was stuff everywhere on the floors and stacked up in front of doors. That's what we put in the house.
And do you think it's a fair and accurate depiction of the house as you saw it that night?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. The state offers State's Exhibit 21 for all purposes. No objection.
State's Exhibit 21 is admitted for all purposes to be published.
Yeah. So, Sergeant Thompson, you already told us at that point, right, we went through, you could already tell that the person laying on the floor was deceased.
I'm not a medical person, but yes, she appeared based on her injuries.
And what injuries could you just see as you walked in?
Part of her face was caved in, and there was multiple stab wounds to her face, chest, and neck area. No signs of life.
And after searching the house, what was the rest of your involvement in the case?
I was organizing just to make sure that investigators were called to the scene and crime scene was called to the scene to work it as well. Just making sure that the officer took care of the little girl, get CPS involved, and just all that kind of stuff. Other than that, I was just overseeing.
And did EMTs eventually go into the home too?
Yes, as soon as we made sure the house was safe, they were asked to come in and check on her, and they were thought she was deceased.
And Sergeant Thompson, about how many crime scenes have you worked in your time as an officer?
Crime scenes, hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't know. 28 years. It's been long.
Yeah. And how does the brutality of this crime scene?
Objection, it's irrelevant.
Response to say.
I'm just asking his opinion on brutality of the scene.
It doesn't have.
I'll sustain.
That's what.
Defense.
Sergeant Thompson, you said that you kind of handle delegating other duties or making sure the other parties that needed to come out pay, right?
Correct.
Various people with Mesquite Police Department, whether it be crime scene, and then obviously the medical examiner's office, right?
Right. I don't call the medical examiner's office, but that would have happened based on the crime scene response.
Paramedics did come out and respond.
Yes, ma'am.
And the little girl that we can see on the video was taken to the neighbors, right?
Yes.
Did you do that?
No, she was taken over there by one of the officers on scene.
And that was pretty immediate, right?
Yes.
I mean, she didn't linger around and get involved with what was going on inside with the investigation or anything like that.
When I went inside, she was not in there with me. She was out there with Officer Rowland, and by the time I came back out, she was at the neighbor's house. One of the officers had taken her over. I don't know what she did in the meantime.
So in other words, you don't know how long she was there, but she was not there while officers were collecting evidence at the scene and doing all of that, right? The child.
She was at the neighbor's house.
Right.
Yeah.
And when she came outside, well, first of all, you said y'all didn't have to kick the door in or anything like that, right?
Right, yeah. On the video, you see him open the door for us.
That's because Jody opened the door, right?
Yes.
And right there in close proximity was the child, right? Next to Jody.
Yes.
Not over there where we can see the middle of the living room, right? But right there next to my client.
Right.
That's where the child was.
Following him, yes, to the door.
Was it your understanding whenever you were dispatched that the caller was a male that called 911?
Yes.
You had those details, right?
That's what was relayed to me that I remember. Yes, because there was a male calling in.
And he said there was all sorts of just, I think he said that it was kind of over the top, not normal stuff that you were, because you're reading it on the screen, right?
No, usually so this is a high priority call, so when you're going that fast, you're relying on the dispatchers for the most part. I can look at my screen, but a lot of times you're not because you're trying to focus on traffic and navigating to get there as quick as you can.
Okay. So rather than reading it, dispatcher was telling you the call you were going to.
For the most part, that's
And to your recollection, let me ask you, did you learn the name of the 5-year-old child that came to the door?
No.
That
I remember. I mean,
so you don't know if the name of the child and the name of the deceased were the same?
no.
Fair to say that my client was frantic when he opened that door?
Yeah, he was upset. Yeah.
And I think you said that you heard him crying before y'all even made entry, right?
I think that's what the other officer relayed to me.
You were right there as well, right?
I couldn't hear him very well, but I wasn't up right by the door. The other officer was closer up. You could hear her. It was hard to hear him because I think he was back inside the house. Yeah.
Okay. Well, once he came outside voluntarily, he was cooperative, right?
Yes.
He didn't take off down the street, right? He remained right there by the side of the 5-year-old little girl.
I mean, I don't know how long they remained together, but he cooperated with officers on scene. Yes.
Pass the witness.
State.
Nothing further for this witness.
Can this witness be permanently excused?
No objection.
Yeah. All right, Sergeant Thompson, you are free to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, we're just 2 minutes shy of the 10:30 hour, so we're gonna take a recess at this time for 15 minutes. No discussion of anything you've heard so far. I don't know if they explained this to you yesterday, but you're not to do any research about the parties involved, type of case, anything. Everything you need to consider will come within this courtroom, right? So 15 minutes to your watch, see your bright shining faces then, we'll resume. I'll rise for my jury.
I will say this. I think juries think about all the things. And when you look at it from the perspective of 12 people reaching a collective decision versus my one opinion, I think theirs carries more weight, because to get 12 people to agree on one thing takes a lot more. Because I could sit there and say, okay, letter of the law says X, Y, and Z. This is the decision. But I think they'll sit there and go, hey, I know the law says this, but I feel like there's some shades of gray with what this actually looked like, and maybe my legal mind reaches a conclusion differently than them. But I think the fact that 12 of them can agree that this is the right thing to do, I can't disagree with that. But at the end of the day, my thought is always, I've got to look at, did this person have a fair trial, a fair opportunity to get their side of the story across and be heard?